Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Friday, July the 15th. Lois Long is with us. And of course, Lois, as you may know, is an advocate for caregivers and persons with dementia. Right? This is something that touches or will touch, I think it's fair to say, everybody's life at one point or another.
Yes.
We're going to know someone, we're going to love someone, and we could possibly lose someone to dementia or Alzheimer's.
Well, and it's in the process, Paul, as life changes for all of us. But we cannot predict what a person with dementia, how their life is going to change, and when. One minute they may know their grandchildren, the next minute they may say, "Who was that?" when the kids leave. So it is a matter of trying to live in the moment, but we can't do all that. And I wrote a poem that I call Seesaw that I'd like to share.
Sure. Okay.
To focus on what I can do brings energy for the day. While thinking of others and their needs, I can lift them up in prayer or give them a call. When frustrations become disabling, I'm reminded of how I am abled. In mind and body, I have choice. With spiritual connections, I'm not limited. God's love offers a way to live in a peaceful heart, in loving kindness. Life is a seesaw, never stopping in a balanced position. Ups and downs, followed by downs and ups. Just stay on the beam, affixed to the fulcrum, and my life keeps moving.
Isn't that true? Listening to those words, life is a seesaw. We have ups and downs, ebbs, and you just never know. You never know from one day to the next.
No.
But if someone that you're caring for is dealing with dementia or Alzheimer's, you are dealing with it also.
Indeed. Right. That's why I focus on the caregiving and the support group as we gather once a month and talk about our experiences. It helps us to verbalize what changes we are facing. This morning, one of the young women in the group that I work with said that, a tree had fallen at her parents' house. It had blocked the driveway. And her dad, who she knows should not be driving, was very upset that he couldn't get out. And her brother lives across the street. Well, we laughed and said maybe just leave the tree and then he won't be able to drive. But it blocked another, family down the street. And so we don't always have the choices that we would like. And I think that trying to live with that person who is changing gradually or suddenly takes its toll on the caregivers who are in their own way, changing as they age. Most caregivers are women, but most people with Alzheimer's are women. It's a very strange thing.
So you're saying most of people with Alzheimer's are women, not men?
Right.
But most of the caregivers are women.
Right.
Now,
So
that's not to say that
who
men
lives
are not,
longest?
Yeah, women live the longest, right?
You got it.
But there are men out there who are caregivers who are dedicating their life to taking care of someone.
You bet. And the research, which we've focused on in the month of June, shows that there are many, many studies being done. And, we hear about them when there's a sensational person or a famous person that says something. But governmental money goes through the National Institutes of Health, NIH. And we always, that's an oversight. Last week there was a summit called Reversing Alzheimer's. But the most interesting talks were things that I never realized were affecting me. What I'm breathing, which may have mold in the air from a leak in the foundation of your house, or chemicals that are sprayed on the field next to where you live. We are constantly taking in toxins that...
You know what else I read? We are breathing in tiny particles of plastic.
Exactly.
Tiny particles of plastic that have been deteriorating, like milk jugs and bottles, into microscopic particles. We breathe them in, and it's circulating through our body.
Right.
That's funny that you brought that up about breathing in the chemicals, but we're also breathing in plastics.
Yeah, and it's sneaky how we are just doing what we do, and we don't realize how it's getting to us. The plastic thing is even being found in infants, you see, because the mother takes in the plastic. I mean, I used a plastic bag for a bottle when my children were babies. You know, we've just lived with plastic so long, but I'm hoping that in this research and in this time of becoming more aware that we are able to pay attention to what we eat, the air we breathe, the water that is so precious that we need not to pollute it.
Right. Right. And you know, you say, well, wait a minute, you got off the subject of caregiving, but it all fits in together.
Right.
We're almost out of time, Lois, but I want you to address, perhaps somebody listening or watching us is a caregiver, and at times they feel like they are backed up against the wall. What do they need to do?
Well, like my friend Lori called me this morning and talked about her situation with her folks. I think when we become involved in a group, a support group, with people that understand, there are many, and you can go to the Alzheimer's website, put in your zip code, and it's called Location Finder. So go to that website, alz.org, and you can find information about research, but you can find about a support group near where you live.
Yeah, and that's so important. If you are a caregiver, and if you're feeling like at times you don't know where to turn, you don't know how you're going to handle this, know that you're not alone. There is help out there, and believe me, there are people that really do care. So find a support group and just talk. Let it all out, and you'll feel a lot better, and you realize that you are not alone on that.
Indeed.
All right. Thank you so much, Lois, for coming by. Something you'd like to hear or see, we'd love to hear from you. Drop me an email at pepperpmissouri.edu.